What's up, guys? So today I'm going to show you a really simple back attack system that all beginners must know, okay? So it's super simple. Let's take a look at these attacks. So I'm on the back of my training partner here, and I have a seatbelt grip, okay? So once I have the seatbelt grip, we are often taught that there's a weak side and a strong side. Typically the weak side is where my arm is underneath, and the strong side is where my arm is over, okay? So I'm just going to show you two attacks that you guys can apply on both sides, okay? The first side we're going to work on is the weak side. And a lot of times people will end up escaping this way, especially in the gi. What they'll do is my training partner, Derek, he's going to throw himself to the weak side and work on his escape, okay? Now from the weak side, I have less control, but a lot more attacks. Now the first attack is going to be the most simple. Just to note, as we attack from the back, it's important that all of our attacks are going to require us to create an angle. For us to have good back control, it's easy for us to stay in a straight line with my training partner's spine. His spine's one way and my spine's the same way. But for me to actually start attacking and submitting him, our spines need to be perpendicular, which means we have to create an angle against our training partner, okay? So what we're going to do now is go for a simple submission, which is the choke. So as my training partner is here, what I'm going to do is take my underhook hand and I'm going to start to open his lapel and pass it to my strong side hand. So I'll take my underhook hand, reach for his lapel, and just open it like so. Now from here, my overside, my strong side hook, my strong side hand is going to go all the way in as deep as possible and connect right here on the collar. Now from here, I'll let go of my underhook hand, and I'll start to grab the opposite lapel. Now from here is my first attack, a traditional gi collar choke, okay? But a lot of times I won't be able to finish from here in this position, okay? So I need to create an angle. So for me to create an angle, I'll start the action of stepping on his hip and creating an angle to the side. Now the reason I step on his hip and create an angle is because I need to climb his body all the way up to his shoulders. So as I'm doing this, I step on his hip, climb my feet, and I'll start to cross my legs over his shoulder. This does a couple of things. It helps me, one, trap his arm, and two, solidify my angle. Now from here, I'm able to extend everything nice and strong. My secondary hand is going to be pulling down on the gi to reduce all of the slack. Now my choking hand is going to be coming all the way into my pocket like so, okay? So the combination of the actions will go one down and the other one all the way back. As this happens, I'm back heeling with my heels and extending away. That's why we need that angle. So I passed it one, pulling down two, and extending all the way back until I have a nice strong submission, okay? This is the first option that we have from the weak side. So let's sit up here, same side, weak side, but this time, as we fall to the side, he's working to escape, my training partner starts to go to defend his neck. I tried to pass the lapel. He's using his right hand to prevent me from moving forward. So when this happens, I'm going to start attacking the arm. Now, as I attack the arm, I just start threading my underhook, controlling his hand, passing this wrist to my choking hand, and then I create what's called a Kimura grip. Now, from this Kimura grip, I need to start opening his elbow to attack the arm. From the back, for us to attack the arm, we want his elbow out, contrary to positions like the closed guard or mount, where we want the elbows in, okay? So for me to attack the arm, I'm going to have to start taking his head out of this Kimura grip. So what I'll do is I have to make sure that I bring my feet from the inside to the top of his hip, because that's what's going to help me climb and create the angle, okay? So I'm climbing, I'm stepping, and I'm getting away from him. Now from here, I'm taking his head outside of this Kimura grip, and I'm placing my elbow on the side of his head. This is going to help me lay him down and keep him away from me as I start to climb my hips away. Now from here, I don't just want to naively throw my leg over and try to go for the arm immediately. A lot of times if I do that, he'll start to face me, get up on his knees, face me, and I might lose this position. Okay, come back. So what I want to do is lay him down first. To do that, I bring my knee behind his head and place my shin on the side of his head. And I'll just extend my hip far away from him. Now as he tries to get up, my shin is preventing him from sitting up. Now I can start to pass my leg over, switch to both of my hands on his wrist, and I have a nice strong arm bar, being able to finish whether I want to put it under my armpit or a traditional armbar with my hand glued to my chest, finishing nice and strong, okay? So that was 2 attacks from the weak side. Now let's take a look at 2 attacks we can do from the strong side, okay? So I have the strong side here. I'm on my training partner's back. And a lot of people prefer to be in this position anyway. So as we're here, I'm on the back, I'm in a dominant position. We'll fall to the side, and we're gonna start going for our first choke, which is the exact same thing. We always wanna look for the choke when we're on the back. We're this close to the neck, might as well, right? Whether it's a rear naked choke or it's a gi choke. Now, when we're on the strong side, there are some details to pay attention to. As I'm here on the back, I'm gonna do the same exact setup. Now, this is if we can get to the collar as soon as possible. I'm opening the lapel, passing it off. Using my secondary hand underneath and grabbing that secondary collar to reduce the slack. Now, a lot of times, if I stay with my spine in the same line as his spine, I'm not gonna be able to finish this choke. There's no angle that's being created. So for me to create this angle, I'm gonna have to get up, take my hooks out, and put my hooks back in, okay? So let's see what that looks like. I have my grips already really strong. If you guys can get this far, you should be thinking in your mind, I'm gonna submit my opponent, I have my grips, I'm not gonna lose this position, okay? So now that I'm here, I don't wanna create an angle on top this way, because I'm not gonna hip escape my elbow, it's already on the ground. So now that I have this position, I'm gonna start going the other way. So I'll actually start taking my hook out and hooking underneath his knee right here. Now this is gonna help me almost throw him off my hook. And a lot of times, what Derek will end up doing is he'll take his left hand on my foot and pushing it off. And this is completely fine, because it's gonna help me take my hooks out anyway. Now as he starts to take his hips off and onto the floor, I'm gonna keep my grips really strong, use this to push him away from me and turn him on his side and get up on my elbows. Now that I'm on my knees here, I have a really good position to finish this choke. I'll bring my elbow all the way underneath his ear and keep everything nice and tight. Now from here, I bring my knee all the way by his head and I start to reinsert my hooks. So I insert one, and now I can sit back nice and easily. And now I have that angle that I created from that second time here, boom. My spine is no longer aligned with his spine. And this is exactly what I want. Now from here, I'm trapping his arm. I've created an angle, and I can start to pull with both directions and extend my legs at the same time, okay? So I created a really strong angle for me to get that choke, okay? So the last attack that we're gonna do from the strong side, it's as we land, there are times when I'm not able to get my choke in. If I have a moment, I'll go straight for the gi, okay? But a lot of times, as soon as we land here, Derek takes his left hand, puts it on my foot, and puts his back to the mat, and I'm starting to lose a position. So as soon as this happens, I keep my seatbelt really strong. I start to turn him on his side, and then I dive my seatbelt all the way to the other side. Boom. So now that we're here, I keep my seatbelt in this position as if I'm going for a head and arm choke or a katagatame finish. But instead of going for a arm triangle, what I'm gonna start to do here is I'm gonna start taking my hand that went all the way down. It's gonna open, and I just grab the inside of my sleeve. This is legal. You can do this to your own sleeve here, and you can do this in IBJJF or any type of gi competition. I make this grip on the inside of my sleeve. I make a semi-hand, a semi-fist, and I place it right here underneath his ear, okay? This is called the arm-in Ezekiel choke. Once I have this position, I'm extremely confident that I'll be able to finish the submission. It's extremely tight here. So now once I make strong grips with my fist. Now I'll just slide my knee back underneath his head, just like I did for the choke on this side. I slide my knee. Now from here, I throw my hooks back in the same way. I'm able to finish here. I throw one, and now I bring him onto my lap, extending my arms together, and now I can cross my legs nice and strong. From here, I'll actually do the action of extending my arms, and I have a nice, strong Ezekiel choke finish, okay? So that's 2 options from the strong side and 2 options from the weak side, okay? Super easy system, and I recommend that you practice these techniques in your arsenal, and the more you practice them, the more proficient you will get with these techniques. So I believe that it's a really easy system for you to master, and really all white belts and blue belts should become a master at these techniques, okay? So I hope you enjoy this technique. Like and comment if you enjoyed, and hit that subscribe button so I can keep posting more content like this. Thanks so much, guys. Os.